Take the white foundation and with a sponge using a stippling motion, apply it evenly all over your face. This is done in sped up so that you can see the tutorial quickly rather than as long as it actually took. I don't think anybody wants to watch 25 minutes of this, do you? Take extra care to cover evenly areas like I just did near the corner of my eye. I have very deep set eyes, so that's often an issue for me. But it's really just important to try and get a nice even coat everywhere. And to clearly make sure to delineate the line between the gray you should have previously applied to your ears and neck area and the white that will form the base of the face. Be careful to get a lot of foundation on your forehead. I almost always manage to mess that one up myself. Almost done here. Keep stippling, there's still some skin to cover. Okay, looks almost done. Mime joke time. Now pick up your container of undiluted gray, not the gray that you mixed with the white for the troll skin tone, and take an angled brush and start applying the markings. I chose to start with the mouth marking because it's the easiest one to use as a reference for other things. Make the line thinner at first and then thicker. It's easier to do that than to go back and touch up white over the gray. Make sure it's symmetrical and just go down. Curve down there. While kind of following my repline, kind of following the reference. Go back and touch up the corners where I think it's a bit uneven. And then fill in the shape. The reason you use undiluted gray here instead of the previously mixed white and gray troll color is that by virtue of applying it on top of the white directly, you will in fact be mixing it, and so it'll look the exact same color when you finish. There we go. I messed up a little bit there, so I take some white foundation and fix it there, and then go back and sharpen the line a bit. If the lines aren't perfectly sharp, this is okay. You'll have a chance to fix it later. I recommend a trial run first to help you figure out how to best get the eye shape to fit on your own eyes. I happen to be lucky enough to just follow the hollows of my own eyes underneath, but I don't think everybody has that same eye shape. And there we go, extend it out. And there's the outer curve. I have a lot of trouble getting it over my brow bone to have a nice angle and not go all concave on me. And I don't have much forehead room for the dot either. But that's okay. Not everybody's perfect. Fill in the shape once you're happy with it, and go back and add more like I'm just doing there to try and keep the line even. There I'm laughing because I think I look so ridiculous. I guess I kinda do. Going in and trying to keep things symmetrical is always the trickiest part. Add the dot, and there we go. The cheek line. I found after experimentation it's easiest to draw two lines that will form the center of the cheek swooshes, and then add on either side to make it work. Blend it up into the ears and the jawline, and then refine the lines to have a nice, clean little what the heck is that shape anyway. These killer cheekbones. Here we go. Now this is really, really important. You take the steel gray, the darker color, and the same angled brush, and carefully outline each of the shapes with the thinnest, most precise line that you can. You will be blending it a bit, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but what you're doing here is creating a greater level of contrast with the gray and the white at the very edges than on the inside. This will make the lines look a lot crisper, and will help it photograph better and look less smudged. It will also help to greater create the illusion that you put the white on top of the gray instead of the gray on top of the white. Once you've done the lines, take the brush and blend it down so you don't have a visible outline. Look Look how much crisper the mouth looks than the eyes. Or the cheek swooshes. Look how much better that is. Blend, blend, blend. You were totally messing up on getting some of the lines crisp on the upper eye area like me. This is also where you can kind of fix it just a little bit. While you can see the darkening gradient in the video, in photographs and in person with the whole ensemble on, it looks a lot more realistic than if you don't bother to go and do this step. There we go. See? I also chose to darken the entirety of the little temple dots because I have practically no temples, so anything that might make them show up better when I put the wig and stuff on, spoiler, they never did, would have been a pretty good idea. Now for the powder. You wanted to make sure that your powder puff is entirely covered with powder, and I mean entirely. Any points on the powder puff that aren't covered in powder are going to take the makeup, lift it off, and deposit it somewhere else. With a design like this, that can be kind of disastrous. See? Powder, rub, dab. If it looks like I'm getting way too much powder on my face, that's intentional. You want there to be enough powder that everything kind of just turns powder white, I guess. Just dab it on there. You don't want to leave any areas of your face uncovered by the powder. It does even more of the fixative work than the final seal spray, which you will be using later. I'm periodically touching it to make sure I can't feel any stickiness. Once you actually get the powder going, you'll see that there is a difference in feel between areas with paint that have been powdered and areas that haven't been. If you're like me with deep-set eyes, be sure to get the hollow of your eye really carefully. This is also turning your eyelashes white, which is why later on you'll use a coat of black mascara in order to hide that, because the white eyelashes are kind of distracting. Kind of really distracting. So, once you're pretty sure that you've got everything all powdered, touch to make sure, you grab a nice fluffy blush brush type brush and just buff off all the extra powder. There it goes, and there's all the designs showing right back up and looking clean and exactly like the color on my neck. And here I'm misting the final seal spray. You don't put it on up close, just from a distance. And now I'm messing around with some torture device on my eyes and eyebrows. Speaking of eyebrows, I did this makeup tutorial filming before Organza Hero Mode was introduced, so now I know that I should have gone back and colored in my eyebrows. For you guys, go and do that like in the basic troll tutorial. I didn't know if I should or not. My contact slipped. Oops. And another light misting of final seal. Make sure that's drying it off. And another one. Keep in mind that this has been sped up footage. And there you go! It ends up looking a lot like this when it's done. Well, there you go. I hope you found this tutorial useful. Go out and have some trolling fun!